everybody. It's my pleasure to open the first welcome to our, I hope, long collaboration and long series of my short introductory presentations, which will be very informal, very simple. I'm not planning to do some professional typesetting and working, etc. But I still hope that will be the right way, and we shall see. I will definitely try to develop it as we shall be working. Right, so it's called Welcome to Brisk Guide to Mathematics. Why brisk? Why guide? So it comes as a continuation of a earlier Czech project which was called Matematika drsně a svižně. It's about teaching mathematics, and it's difficult to translate, so it's something like presenting mathematics in a rough and brisk way, but in Czech rough as colloquially felt like rather cool or interesting or funny, etc. So I thought, well, for professional reasons, so it's more reasonable to call it Brisk Guide to Mathematics for us now. So that's our Brisk Guide, and it's a very strange textbook which is in preparation, so you will see it will develop, and I mean, the internal structure of the book is quite complicated from several points of view. One of them is the overall structure of the book, because it's not a part of mathematics. It tries to be a real guide to all of the mathematics, at least for the beginners, so from the beginning period of study. And therefore you see that there are many parts of mathematics covered, and where we are now is the initial warm-up. It will be the first 2 weeks in my plan, and what we shall cover is the elementary linear algebra, the linear models and matrix calculus, and the analytic geometry. That's the first semester of the MDA 101, and in the other strand we shall deal with the infinitesimal version of those things, and you will see that they are overlapping actually, so it's like having one big course for 20 credits, then two for 12 and 8. Please let us take this way. So the other reason why the structure book is so weird and strange is that we try to follow the diverse wishes and needs of the students and audience in general, and mix the, say, explanation of the concepts and the tools and the, say, claims and theorems, like the messages, what are the properties of those tools together. So this is this part. So on this side, these are the concepts. Plus explanations. And these are the tools plus the use of the tools. And we are aware of the fact that it's different with different people. Some people need first to get ready to use the tools and try how they work, and then they look for explanations and they try to sort out what were the right concepts behind, and some need it the other way around. So it's up to you which of the columns you prefer, which of the columns you first enjoy and read, and which of them will be the second one or skipped at all. So this is what I imagine how the book should be used, and in each of the weeks I will just go through some of the pages very roughly. In the first two it will be many pages, because it's just a backup, and we are coming back to things most of you know from your own practice or from secondary school or whatever, and later on we shall dig more carefully in what's in, so later on you will have something like 15-20 pages per week in each of the courses. Today it's more. So that's it. And now let's just spend a second on what does it mean, brief guide to mathematics. So what kind of mathematics do I have in mind? And definitely for me, mathematics, and I hope also for you, will not be some way of learning how to count. That's not the mathematics content at all. So I prepared I found, well, not prepared, and I also want to push you to behave this way yourselves, just to look up on the web what's available and relate it seemingly to what I'm talking about or what you are interested in, and just share your views and comments. So maybe some of the homeworks will be also oriented this way. So I just picked up a very short sitcom, which is quite old, and there the teacher is explaining to a small boy in a seemingly very correct way and complaining about his non-ability to learn something, and then it has some horrible consequences which I'm not interested in. But in my opinion, the teacher completely fails. So let's have a look at this short.
And we learn from mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes.
Nuh-uh.
Look at this question here. What is 2 plus 2? See, you wrote 22. But when we do addition, we don't just put the numbers next to each other.
That's stupid.
All right, think about it this way. If I have 2 markers in this hand, and then I add the 2 markers from this hand, how many markers do I have now?
22.
No, Danny, it's 4.
Right, now the question is, why do I think the explanation of the teacher was actually wrong? Well, so what it seems to be is we are trying to introduce to the kids something like counting, right? And instead of telling the purpose of having some operation with 2 numbers, creating a third one, should be to be able to count things. And of course, you can have many operations. In a while, so in a couple of minutes, I will prepare the first introduction to the first pages, and I will come back to that more closely. But we can have any kind of operation, just eating 2 numbers and creating a third one. And why not concatenate them? The boy was completely right. It's a fair way how to introduce an operation. The teacher should rather say, well, but Danny, we've been supposed to introduce counting. And she used completely wrong example, because she had 2 and 2 of the pens in her hand, the markers. If she would take 1 and 2, then she could tell him, well, imagine it's not markers, it's the number of people attending your party, and you want to know how many pizzas should you order. So first there is 1 coming, and then another 2 say yes. And so it's 1 plus 2. So in your way it would be 12. You order 12 pizzas. A bit too much, right? But imagine what happens if you first knew about the 2 ones, and then there was the third one who told the third one who told, well, I'm coming too. Then it would have 21 pizzas. That's even more insane. And you see, it's completely insane to introduce counting a way which doesn't suit the purpose. So therefore you were wrong. Right, and that's not what she did. She just instead made him fool because he didn't learn by heart what she told before. So that's not the way I want you to follow whatever I am telling, and just question whatever you think could be done different. Right, so that's for the initial welcome, more than enough, and I will come back to you during today with some more to cover the next week. Thank you and have a nice day.